Greetings everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Träumerei Chapter 4. Wayward! Let's see what's going on here in this worn down house, which we're looking for the two mischievous girls. We've already seen the lad that was at the school. He was stuck in somewhere and we had to rescue him by using a key. A tall, heavily worn, dusty bookshelf. Inspect, absolutely. A journal. It says, property of Rue Diedrich, 1883. Ah, Rue is one of the characters that we saw in chapter... I'm going to say chapter 2, or maybe the beginning of chapter 3. This room is runes. Why is it that our paths always cross? Especially now. I don't know, upon inspecting the journal, a small silver key tumbles out. Another key. Another key to the journey. Walls. Just walls. A mahogany vanity coated in a thick layer of dust. I didn't know what that was. A gun? Though it's not the one I've seen Rue use. Not at all, but we can't. What are you doing? Oh, it's you. I thought this room was locked. Well, you thought wrong. Hey, no hard feelings. You're not worth the trouble. Have a nice evening. Noël just ditched you. That's what he's trying to say. He don't care. Hello! Hello! Hello, Mother. Hi, Noël. Your father isn't back from work yet. Is it just me, or do you appear to be somewhat pale? Mother, are you feeling alright? Never been better. That's what everyone says. Another thing as well about my Stitch theory about the mother is that she has two crosses near her lip. I'll be in my room. Please call me if you need anything. I could do some chores, or we could read a book. Nah, I'll just wait here. I think we should go look for our father. Go upstairs? Can we go outside again? Nothing to see here. Move along now, people. There's nothing to see here. It's just a hardwood table. That is all. The cabinets are inherently placed way too high for a kitchen. We walked across that already. Mother's not one for talking either, is she? Go upstairs. Mother is clearly not well, but Father should know what to do. I'll tell him as soon as he gets home. Though it wouldn't hurt to visit Father's study. Maybe something there will cure Mother. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that, little one? A bed, a cabinet, a closet, no. A calendar. Anything that we can do here? Anything at all? Leave your room. Okay, I wonder what it was like to spend my days here. If only I could remember. But it would be impossible for me to remember one day over thousands of others. Millions of others. That's what it's like to be a vampire. You never age. You get older, but you never age. Imagine if you get to a certain age and then you just never age at all. Like, for some people that would be a blessing, but for others it would be a curse. Like, who wants to live forever and see all of their relatives, their grandchildren, their great-great-grandchildren, their great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren? You know, you have to witness all of that. Like, how horrid and, in a way, boring life would be if you get to live forever. Wars. This? A simplistic writing desk. Books have been placed into its drawers. Well, he's not here. Lamps. Nothing else of note. What about this on the floor? Nope. Just walls. Is there any functions in here? Can we do anything? Inspect the shelf, yes. What is Father doing with all these obituaries? These could be for Mother's work, but shouldn't they be kept in her office? Henrik Rosaril, born April 1st, 1915. Henrik is the name of her father. Date of death, 21st December 1941. Cause of death unknown. Different people. Laurel. Banner. Don't butcher me if I can't pronounce these correctly, for goodness sakes. November 13th, 1920. Date of death, November 25th, 1942. Cause of death unknown. Father appears to have crossed out their causes of deaths. Let's see. How many obituaries must he be keeping here? There must be dozens. Could they all be people father and mother once knew? Wait, here's a familiar name. Klaus Wensbach. October the 8th, 1924. Date of death, June 15th, 1942. So it was only 17 or 16. His cause of death is also unknown. Footsteps. There's no time to put these away. I must find a place to hide. Damn it! Hide and shake! Find a place to hide. I don't hide here. How the heck am I going to hide in a bookshelf? Ah, looks like I was caught too soon. Like, how do you even hide in that room? There's literally nowhere for you to go. And we didn't even say, so I have to go through all that again. Yes, hide under the table, that would be most wise. I tried to do that the first time, but couldn't. Hello. Hey, what's wrong with you? Have you been going through my things? What could I possibly want with your stuff? No, of course not. Perhaps it was Noël. How silly of him. If he wanted to go into my study, all he had to do was ask. I'm sorry, Father. I just wanted to know more about you. I mean, your work. Mother looks well. Now, I doubt Father would believe anything I say. Every time I try to show you my work, you just run off. People change, Father. Though, if I may ask, why do you keep so many obituaries in your study? Remembrance. I'm afraid if I don't keep this here, I might forget they all even existed. But why did you cross out their dates of death? No, their cause of death. If you could, wouldn't you want to forget something so dreadful? I see your point, Father. I apologize for intruding. None of that now, son. Just don't mess with my study again. I promise I won't. Are you sure? No, I was acting more cheerful in this chapter. Even if I don't remember everything, it wouldn't be so bad to stay here for a bit longer. Back to this uniform. I only had to attend school for 2 days, but I realized that school is absolutely dreadful. People's experiences of school is very subjective and individualistic. For me, it wasn't too bad. Like I was bullied for my height, and I had a huge amount of spots on my face, so people used to compare like dot to dot, you know, that drawing game, like dot to dot, but rather than that, it's spot to spot. Like, I think that was the worst for me. Leave my room. Okay, okay. Leave our room again. We got back to our room. Now we're leaving our room again. Good morning, Mother. Is there anything that you need help with? No, no. Alright then. I'll be stepping out now, Mother. Yes. I wonder what could be troubling her. Mother, are you alright? Yes, yes, I'm fine. Are you sure? Seems like something is impending. So what do we do now? Hi. Hardwood table. Nothing here. Leave, okay. I should realise there are doors rather than just a plain old wall. Oh, hello. Something down here. Pick up the fly? Absolutely. Is this going to be a witch hunt? Moonlight Circus? Huh? It certainly has a nice ring to it. And this may be my first clue. Clue for what exactly? Though, who runs a circus in the middle of the woods? Something here is strangely familiar. Though from personal experience, most trees look the same to me. There's different breeds of trees, just like there's different breeds of animals. And the screen just slightly shifted there. Where are you going? The town is in the opposite direction. Ah, sorry. Well, you don't want us here? Noel's mother doesn't want Noël to be here, is that what it is? Leave? Absolutely. I wonder where it could be. Where could this Moonlight Circus be? Wait, where did I hear Moonlight Circus before? Not like the individualistic words, but just the words put together, Moonlight Circus. Was it like in the second last chapter of Pocket Mirror? Why do I keep running into these two? I better find another path. Veynn, did you hear that? I think we're being followed. I am not there. It's that guy from school. What's he doing out here? How should I know? We're all people at the end of the day. Ow! But at least I lost them. Yeah, at least a ditch. Yeah, that's probably for the best, actually. And what's this here? Pick up the hair clips. Absolutely. These look a lot like Mother's. I wonder what they're doing all the way out here. Ah, it's getting late. Perhaps I can continue my search tomorrow. Maybe that was worrying her. Oh. Noël is out of our control. Both physically and mentally in the game. Mother! She's not here. Perhaps she stepped out for a bit. I do hope this means she's feeling better. Or maybe it's the polar opposite. Which we don't hope that would be the case. Not at all. Father, what is he doing with a knife? Not going to work. I can't take this. Father! Noël! Father, what are you doing? It's not what it looks like. Are you sure? No, what did you do with Mother? That ditch. You murdered her. Son, you've got it all wrong. Yikes. Why must these things always happen to me? Ah, Noël's crying. Ah. Everyone's so mean here in this time. I finally made a new friend my age, but I've been so dismissive of her. Aunt Delia's a murderer. Rue's sister might be dead. And Father, I just wanted a normal family. A normal life. Ah, he's both smiling and happy. Both smiling and crying. I wish I never found him. I don't want to be here anymore. Wyvern, you heard me. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm tired. What does one do? Yeah, the hairpins were the clue. He must have forgotten that he placed them there, or they were just dished there. Dark woods. It's impossible to see beyond this large expanse of trees. Tranquil blue water. Starlight is reflected from its murky depths. It's quiet here, but very sad. I never noticed, but the night sky can be pretty. It is pretty, when there's no clouds and no pollution. No matter what era I'm in, it always looks the same. Morning's dawned. Ma, where are we going? Oh, this is a flashback to the past. You saw those signs, right? Yeah, they said going into the woods is forbidden. And you know what that means? Rules are meant to be broken? And to never listen to authority? Exactly. You know how much I detest those things. These things. This is the Rintaro Okabe of this era. We don't go with the rules, we go against rules and make the impossible happen. Don't tell Mr. you heard that from me. Roger. Who is Roger? I'm joking. It's another way of saying yes or affirmative or I will do that. What are they doing here? Do you know them? Shh. Why? Are you certain it's here? Crazy. You expect us to believe your daughter saw a witch? Are you calling my daughter a liar? We have an argument going on here, ladies and gentlemen. She saw that devil child levitate a fish right out of this lake. Levitate, okay, that's one word. Telekinesis is another. But I put the fish back in the water immediately. Quiet! What do you take us for? Witches aren't real. Then what about the incident from the previous century? You mean that crazy old lady? You never know. Unfortunate things have been happening to our town recently. What do you think we should do with them? Hey, I can see someone by the bushes. Noël, I want you to run. But, please, go. Please go. The ditch bear. Mother, where are you? It's so late, Father must be worried. I'll look for Mother, and then we can both go home. The same ditch. Goodness sakes. God damn all these ditches. Dark woods and okay, maybe we have to look at water again. Oh, again. How silly. Now's not the time for a swim. Mother? Why aren't you saying anything? This isn't funny. Please wake up. Are you tired? Also, I bring you home myself, but I'm much too weak to carry you. I thought Noël was strong. Swole, Noël. I'll fetch Father. He'll be able to help you. Is Mother feeling better now? She will be. How about the others? Already taken care of. They'll forget everything soon enough. Was this my fault? People can be scary. Remember, you mustn't practice magic anymore. I understand, Father. Damn it. Why? Camille, how could I call myself a father and husband if I can't protect either of you? Just this one time, Camille. Please, come back. I can't do this alone. Father, please stop doing this. I don't want you to keep getting hurt. Nothing I do can work. I can't bring her back and I can't be with her either. Noël, I want you to kill me. So is that the person that Noël said that it was of utmost importance, but regretted killing? Father, what are you saying? Please don't joke about something so horrible. You're right. I'm sorry for burdening you. Not at all. Is there anything else I can do to help you? Yes. Never become like me. I want you to be a better person. Father. He didn't kill Mother after all. This means I'm no longer a vampire. But why do I feel so sad? Yeah, how did you become a vampire in the first place? No, Mother's still not here. What was that? Her hairpins? Oh, it was nearby. I thought you somehow discovered that you had her hairpins in your pockets. Goodness sakes. Leave our room, absolutely. Who is here now? Is it just still Father? Everything has been going so well. So why has Camilla gone away? Useless. Useless. Useless! I have to get her back. Please get up. I remember now. Mother. She's gone, but we can still be happy. It can be you and I. No, we can't be complete without her. We have to keep going on in life no matter how traumatic an event is. No matter how dark it can be. No matter how treacherous it can be losing a loved one. We have to keep going. We have to keep on living, surviving. We must do them proud, for ourselves and for them. Leave me be, Noël. Just let me think. Of course, Father. Please feel better. This isn't quite what I expected for a family reunion. But what else is new? I should know by now that nothing will be easy. Nothing is ever easy. But if you let it consume you and not deal with it, then it will, just as I said, it will eventually consume you. Father, I shouldn't leave him alone. I know how you feel, Father. I miss Mother too, but please unlock this door. Objective, break down the door. Oh no, not this. Great. How did I know this was going to be another one of those things? I did not even see the firstmost arrow because it was so blended into the background. And we're all the way back here as well. Why don't I save more often? Lovely. Managed to do that. You leave me too. No, I would never leave you. How old are you even supposed to be? 10? 11? What kind of parent can't even remember their child's age? But it doesn't matter. Give or take 100 years and you'll be dead. And with this infernal war, you might not even live to see the next day. Please don't speak like that. Isn't it enough that we have each other? No! It's better if I get rid of the problem now. You've only been around for 10 years. I should just end this now and cut my losses. Whatever could you mean? Oh. He killed himself? I won't be able to reach the front door. There. That should buy me some time. What'd you do? Think, Noël. I'm sure there's a way out of this mess, but... the window. I could reach it. Oh no, it's locked. You must think poorly of me as a father. Well, you're right. Whatever could I have been thinking? You don't deserve this. How morbid of you to say that to your own son. Your own child, in fact. It would have been better if you were never born. Father, what are you saying? Being alive will only bring you pain. It will only bring you pain if you think like that. Hate me all you want, but this is for your own good. You should know, guns don't work against me. This one will. Shoot? No, I can't. No matter the circumstances, I could never hate you. Are you tearing blood? You may not be a good father, but you're not a bad person. You're just you. I may not like the real you, but I'll have to accept it. You're far from my idolized version of a family, but I'm glad I got to meet you one last time. I can't do this. I don't want to lose you, but I can't bear with seeing you for another day. One day, you'll get older. Sorry, you get old. Older than me. And then you'll die. Why prolong my suffering? Oh, you're so cruel, but I don't deserve you or your mother, or this life. I could never kill you. I'd never forgive myself. Living so long, forgetting who you are, outliving everyone you've ever known, being unable to live in one place for no more than a few years as you can never age, and constantly living in fear is such a cruel fate. Many wish for immortality, but few realize just how relentless time can be. You've grown. It feels like I'm talking to a completely different person. Perhaps you're right. Nothing would make me happier than if you could forget I even existed. Ever existed. Don't acknowledge me. If only I could erase myself from this world so that no one would have ever known me. Living and dying. It's also relentless. But I like to think everything happens for a reason. Indeed, Noël. There's no hidden options like in Chapter 0. Use the gun. Ah, I will harbour this curse in your stead. So please, rest easy, Father. Ah. He almost looks alive. But it can't be peaceful to sleep with his eyes open. I should at least grant him some semblance of peace. Different options here. I wish we could have saved beforehand. Take the picture, light a candle. You don't want to be remembered. I understand the sentiment, but I don't think I'll be able to forget about you again. But I can erase this house so that your time here would have been nothing but a distant memory. Farewell. France, 1950. Writing about vampires again. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't hurt to retain a bit of childhood magic. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're obsessed. Hey, quit acting rude. You hogged enough of his time, it's my turn now. Oh dear, would you mind covering for me? You're quite popular, aren't you? I wouldn't say that. I remember Dad used to talk about vampires. I wonder why. Well, everyone can have their interests. That year was a blur. Mother, father, claws. I guess latching onto those old stories Father was so fond of is my way of remembering him. If only I could figure out what happened that year. Who is this unknown person we're talking to? Wyvern again? Ah, Annabelle. Ugh, where did that idiot go? Don't mind me. Where are our characters here? I'm just looking for my brother. He ditched me at the movies, but now I can't find him. Text a bit off the screen there, developer. Huh? Do I know you? There's something almost familiar about you. I felt that way about lots of things. Ever since that day, it feels like I've been walking through a daydream. Oh, but I shouldn't be bothering a stranger about my personal life. Please carry on, miss. I hope you find your brother soon. Hey, what's that you're hiding? Ah, it's nothing. It doesn't sound like nothing to me. Gimme! Vampires? It's silly, but they help me feel closer to home. I know they don't exist, but it makes me happy. I want to be so sure of that. Anything's possible. Any chance you'll write about demons too? Actually, yes. I have lots of stories. But I've been thinking of writing about the witch trials. It's quite the dreadful topic, but I've always had an admiration for the macabre. You never change. Excuse me? Oh, that was embarrassing. I don't know what came over me. But it's nice you decided to become a writer, Noël. How did you know all of this? I never told you my name, Annabelle. And likewise? What on earth is going on? How should I know? I'd like to think I would have remembered giving you my name. And I've never met you in my life. Where is Azel when you need him? I never told you my brother's name. Would you care to read me those stories you wrote? Sure. Just to sort out this whole conundrum. Once upon a time, beneath dreary branches, obscuring a crimson sky, there lived a something, again with a text. While his life was monotonous and unfulfilling, he felt content, not constant. Though all of this changed one day when an odd rosy-eyed girl had quite literally something. Years and years and years passed while the small vampire stayed the same. But eventually he found himself at a crossroad. Where to go? Where to go? Where should I stay? What is the correct path? As these stories go, the vampire made his decision. While neither right nor wrong, whether he remains the same or changed, everything shall pass with time. Good end. Ah, got to one of the endings of the game. So that was the good end. There must be then a true end and a bad end. And I think saying no might cause the bad end, but let's just see. Oh, we've got this quick time event thing again. Goodness sakes. But this seems like one massive event anyway, so we'll get to the decision when we get there. No hidden options here, that's good. Take the picture. No. I can't leave him here. As long as I'm still alive, Father's wish can never come true. But everything will be fine now. Hey, did you hear the rumor of bleh? They say a family used to live in this lot, but their house mysteriously burned down. No bodies were ever found, but the craziest part was that the father never aged. Is that why no one's allowed to go on this side of town? Well, thought so. Bad end, a promise of death. Yikey hoos, and there is a point after the QTE which you can say that. I just forgot to do that. I don't know how much longer this game would go on for the first time around. Take the picture, absolutely. It's strange. We look so happy here, but I remember nothing of this day. It's fun how the memory of something that must have meant so much to me at one point has eroded away. I suppose Father won't need this anymore. You burned it? Don't remember you, huh? I don't think I'll be able to forget about you again, but I can erase this house so that your time here would have been nothing but a distant memory. Farewell. So that was the canonical ending. Leave. And now a journey into the unknown. Whoa, what's on your face, Noël? Is that blood on your face? Where to now, I wonder? This may have been my home, but I feel as if I'm nothing more than a stranger, forced to wander with no goal in sight. I think that's just the anatomy of his entire journey with Noël, is that he's basically like a floating, a cloud where he just goes from place to place with no real objective in sight. I mean, Aunt Delia was like the one goal, and yet, even with such an appalling life, I never realised it, but only the moonlit sky has been my constant companion throughout these many trials. Noël, I think Annabelle really cares about you. I think your other friends also really care about you. The twins in green. Music? It must be coming from the Moonlight Circus. I do wonder, is this how I came across this circus the first time I was here? Was it the circus in the previous chapter? I remember going into a circus of sorts. It's so empty here. Almost like a ghost town. Almost like a ghost town, you say? It's almost as if we're in a video game. A blue circus tent. Cheerful music can be heard from within. Enter the circus. Also, over time, Noël has kind of gained more emotions. Like at the very beginning, like in Chapter 0, he was almost like a lifeless doll with eggplants. A tall, gilded mirror. Upon approaching the mirror, you can see your reflection or lack thereof. I know this mirror. I'm certain I've seen it before, but where? That's right. Remember that lady in the mirror? The one that dressed in white and purple? The very evening I lost Father, I found the circus and saw claws. My reflection. Why is it gone? And why is there suddenly a red hue rather than a blue one? Is this my punishment? For I'm absolutely dreadful. Whatever shall I do? Marvel and Father will never want to see me again. I'm sure of it. How could they love a monster? Oh, I'm not so sure about that lost one. Claws. You're alive. I did a terrible thing, and now father and mother, they're... Could it really be as terrible as you'd imagine? Self-defense isn't a crime. No, but disobeying your parents is. Yes, I would say that to a certain extent. But if it's for your survival, if you feel like that the two most important people in your life are undermining your health, then I would say try and find someplace else to live for your own health. If you feel like things aren't getting along or anything like that, you've always got to think of yourself first. If you try and put the thoughts and emotions of other people before your own, that is where you lose yourself. And because of that, I've got no reflection. Mother and father are gone. I don't understand any of this. You're stupid, but also very smart. Claus, tell me what I should do. Please, you always have a solution to everything. That, my little vampire, is for you to decide. Right now, I could say you're at a crossroads. Only those pitiable enough can reach this place. What you do next is your choice and yours alone. But I don't know what I want. I just want everyone to be okay. Life isn't like that. Though, no one's okay. Nothing about this is okay. As long as I'm here, sorry folks, nothing will change. Do you wish for death, young vampire? Not exactly. What I want is, I wish I could fade away. That is what will make me the happy. You mean happy? Could you do this for me, Claus? Will you think any less of me? It doesn't matter what I think, but is this what you really want? This is a very rare opportunity. You can start all over again. Reincarnate. Yes, I'm sure. Very well. Though, to understand your wish better, you may find yourself in a different time. This is how Noël can keep bouncing across different time zones with this entity called Claus, with vague recollections of your previous life and a strong desire to unravel the truth. Once you discover the truth, your true wish will be granted. It's alright with me, Claus. I just want to make things right. I pray that you may find yourself. Wyvern? I remember that wasn't Claus. It was about time you figured out the truth. How many times have we gone through this? 50? 60? 90? This multiverse thing, what I saw was, it had never happened. Once you go back in time, all your experiences, actions, they all cease to exist. That reality was one of many. That vision of you has ceased to exist once you made your decision. No, what I saw, it has to be real. Those memories, I felt such strong emotions. Have you ever heard of that theory in which you can never be certain anything is real except for yourself? Or how the universe revolves around you? No, that's not right. The universe pays heed to no one. There is nothing important about everyone that warrants such a thing. Really? That's funny. Coming from you. I've been watching you all this time, and no matter the reality, all you have ever been is a selfish, scared little boy with absolutely no regard for life. You don't care what happens to anyone else as long as you can fulfill your wish. That's not true. I wouldn't be so sure. At times, you feel even less human than me. No, I can laugh. I can cry. I feel anger, remorse. I'm human. All you look like is a corpse. Everything about you is fake. Are you truly happy? I can end all of this for you in a heartbeat if you'd like. Look, a grave. Just for you. You can rest here for all of eternity. Is that not what you have wanted all along, sorry? Yes, but... Then what's the problem? That is the problem. I have no idea. Why must you be so infuriating? What is it that you want of me? Do you want to live? I like how the developers put 3 different colours on the screen and that's it, like white, black and red. Do you want to die? My head is spinning in circles just trying to figure out what you most desire. Tell me! You are very kind. All this time you've been watching over me, wondering as to how I can fulfill my wish. But I've been so selfish. You're really quite wonderful. A wonderful guardian angel. Guardian angel? You got this all wrong. I bring death and despair. I take people away, I rip families apart. You provide peace and rest to the weary. You console those tired with life. That's another way. That's looking at the coin but from the opposite side. Living and dying. They are both struggles. But you make it also bearable. Nothing I can say... It's like nothing I say can begin to stress how appreciative I am of everything you've done. But it's a start. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. You're thanking me? Why, yes. That is what one should say upon receiving kindness. It's a shame I hadn't realized sooner. Tell me, what is it that you want? I want to live. I would very much like to live, if that is alright with you. But living is painful. Don't expect your life to go smoothly from now on. You'll be hurt. That would be the point. Death would be a release. But salvation is not what I deserve. I can't atone for my sins once I'm dead. You do realize you're a vampire, right? Not much can kill you. Thanks to you, I desire nothing more than to live. But not for the right reasons. You've changed. Do you know that? Anyone would, in my shoes. Do you know why you found the circus that fateful day? No, I'm afraid I do not. Just think about this very carefully. I was on the brink of death. I wanted to die. This circus must only appear to those who desire death. Correct. And what is it that you wish for now? I no longer desire death. Are you sure that is your wish? Yes. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you. It's not me that you should apologize to. There's someone you owe an apology to. Let her move on. She's been with you long enough. Lilla, set her free, and only then I will grant your wish. I shall miss her dearly, but I understand. She deserves her freedom, but what will happen to her? This timeline will soon cease to exist, but Lilla, she'll be back with me. Well, a different Lilla at least. What will happen to her? She's never been alive to begin with. Just because she has never been alive does not mean she does not exist. All those experiences with her, memories, that is what made her real. And it's like fiction actually. You make memories in fictional stories, and you feel that fiction is a part of your life, because it is infused with you so much, depending on how much it reflects upon you. And until we meet again, I wish you all the best. Why then, you're a good Grim Reaper. Thank you for everything. Hey, we can move again now. Let us end this. Let us end this for us and see Lila once more time. Is that? Ah, hello once again. My, this is more spacious than that cramped little mirror. Hello, Noël. It's funny to speak with you in person. Well, at least as far as I can remember. I know we went on adventures back when I wasn't trapped inside a mirror. Lila, are you happy? What's with the odd question all of a sudden, dearie? Why should it matter if I'm happy or not? You've always been so kind to me, but I've been appallingly dreadful to you for all these centuries. Not once have I ever considered your feelings. Please tell me, what is it that you want? What do I want? I may have locked myself in my room for 50 years before I retrieved my memories, but you've been trapped in a mirror for 200 years. And possibly even more than that. I now know time is very confusing. In all of that, I've never once asked how you felt. You may not realize it, but you're being cruel. What a horrible thing to ask of me. What do I want? I want to be alive. I want to be a human. But none of that is possible. I've been dead this whole time. Lila, pardon me, but what if you were never alive to begin with? If that were the case, there would be nothing left of me. You're too selfish. Why must you ask me such awful questions? Remember that story I told you about way back, when Adelaide was still alive? The Hanged Witch of Procession's Way? What if I told you that the witch, Elizabeth, died a second time that day? Stop, I don't want to hear the story. But a stubborn, exceedingly selfish boy decided to play God in a ploy to get her back. No, stop talking. But instead, he accidentally created something else entirely. Lila, please listen. Lila, what's gotten into you? I don't want to listen anymore, Noël. I need to explain. You deserve to know. I'm not real. You may not be, Lila, but you're still a real person to me. Then, your idea of real is flimsy at best. Just leave me alone. Thanks to a spell my father taught me, I was able to create a soul in the likeness of Lila. Can you just stop? It seems like my family has a history of bringing back the dead and being unable to move on and accept change. What would it take for you to leave? Lila, please let me help you. If you really want to help me, then leave me be. What do you mean? I'm tired, Noël. No, I'm exhausted. There's no life of me out there, Noël. But I don't want to fade away. That's not true. There's more adventures waiting for you. Being encased in a mirror is hardly what I call a worthwhile existence. But I can't. I want you to let me go. But at the same time I want to stay. I can't possibly do that. Please, just grant me this one request. I know you still have those mirror shards of that time, from that time. Let me go, or let me stay here. Lila, please, I love you, but you can't stay. You're the closest I've had to family since Henrietta and Adelaide. The two twins in green were still alive, but I can't deny your freedom. Set me free from this mirror, Noël. You're right. I'll never be happy as long as I'm trapped here. That is all I want. Alright. Good. Once you leave this world, you must burn those mirror shards. I promise. I'll never forget you for as long as I live. Perhaps we can meet again in a few lifetimes from now. I wouldn't mind that at all, dearie. But we both know that will never happen. Goodbye. Farewell, Lila. I'm always perplexed about the story of this game, or the games themselves. I'm back? But first I need to get rid of those mirror shards for Lila. Burn shards, yes. It's quiet. I know I should be happy, but why do I feel so sad? It's the right choice, but this isn't such a terrible place to sleep, Lila. Let us end this once and for all. Why then? Are you sure that this is what you wish for? Yes. I'll never get everyone back if I wish for anything else. If I do this, you will soon lose memories of this timeline. Every experience you've had, friends you've made, you will forfeit them once this session is erased. Your memories of now will cease to exist. Are you prepared to pay that price? It's fine. What use do I need of memories? Once I start over, I can make new memories. Tell me, is this what it would take to make you happy? What does happiness have to do with me? I'm a murderer. Whether I'm happy or not is of no importance, but I cannot leave until I atone. Very well. I pray that you find the ending you seek. Good night, Noël. Good night, and thank you for everything. Is that what will make you happy? We're here again, in an old costume as well. Am I happy? Wonder where that question came from. Perhaps I had a terrible dream. Not that I can remember anything. Am I happy? Yes. I'd like to think I am. I am content. We're back here of all places. What is that sound? It's absolutely dreadful. We're back in our old costume, but the menu doesn't say otherwise. Archaic bookshelves. Bookshelves. Look out the window. There's a crow. Who are you supposed to be? Don't ask me. The real question here, my dead friend, is, who are you? I am Noël Rosru. Have we met before? Can't say, but I've got a question to ask. What do you remember? What? Do I what? Ah, do you even remember what you have lost? What I have lost? Nothing. I am safe, and happy, and content. Then, can you help me? Of course, miss. Can you please tell me your name? If you don't even remember that, you're more lost than you realize. But what have I lost? Your heart. Damn it, Annabelle. True end. All that is lost. Ah. That was good and enigmatic. Just as enigmatic as the other tales, but I feel like through all of that chapter 3 only really gave some answers to questions that we have. But still, it's a shame that this will be the last playable chapter of this game, but ultimately if a developer decides to continue the story of this game through other media forms, then I'll be very happy to follow along through that. It will just be that I'll no longer be covering it because it'll be in the form of like mangas or comic books, I'm not too sure, but that was pretty good in its own little ways. It's been very fascinating to see that, I think one of my theories in the past was that this is some sort of multiverse thing where we go through different time zones and stuff like that. That's Anurit and the other twin. Beta testers. Zim's Soul 182. Noël himself tested this game. No, it's somebody else who is named Noël. And Zimsol is the creator of Expitora and, oh gosh, the other game, the prequel of that game. Thank you for playing. Aww. Thank you very much for making these games. Like, if you're unable to follow the game itself, and I can perfectly understand that, because this is definitely a very confusing tale to try and follow. Not gonna lie, it is something that is quite confusing, something that I don't know myself of, like, what's really happening? What is happening throughout these tales? Why is Wyvern looking at the mother and father of Noël? And Noël. I just didn't even see him, he's that short. Oh, he's there. He's happy. He's definitely content. And he has his chapter 4 uniform on. Ah. Yes, please, I would. And we have these characters. Let's go from left to right, starting with the... one of the students anyways. If we can. Option, view the Veynn's character sheet. Yes, please. For those who need a refresh. Read character bio. A naturally wary and suspicious person at heart, Veynn does her best to keep everyone at a distance. Most of her knowledge about the town and its secrets came from her parents. Her family has lived in the town for about half a century, while long enough to get acquainted with these strange happenings of a quiet community. Certain tragedies that had happened here are still unknown to them. She enjoys taking apart and reassembling radios during her spare time, though it is not entirely clear as to what she plans to use them for. Her goal is to leave the town behind someday. More options. Art gallery. So that is the beginning, which I will love. That was love. Cool. Then there's the I wonder if that's claws, actually, the reflection of ourselves, because claws didn't have a like hair and stuff like that. It was just a silhouette. So Noël could very possibly be talking to Claus, which is like another version of himself. And then we have Wyvern and Noël. Then we have Noël along with his parents. Mother in the water. What is that on the right, top right hand side? Noël, father, Wyvern and Noël and Lilla. Bad end. Good end. True end. And the credits as well. Ah. Like, that is really pretty. Cool. Now this guy, if I can click on him, that is Liam's character sheet. And there we go. Lovely, lovely. And his bio. Liam Clane's family has lived in this sleepy little town for as far back as he can remember. Throughout the centuries, the town's name has changed, but there are rumours. Strange voices and shadows are said to flicker about the town. Even whispers of a witch who have been executed there are commonplace. He hates the supernatural and is prone to bad luck. For the most part, Liam avoids going anywhere alone in fear of spectres that haunt his family. And that's not even getting into what little he knows about his grandmother who has passed on not too long ago. Crikey. More. Okay, creator commentary. Hi again, it's Veynn, the creator of this game. I hope you're all safe and healthy. Thank you so much for playing the fourth and final installment of Träumerei. I can't believe I finally got up to this part of Noël's story. I've had this plan since... You've had this plan since day one? Thank you very much. That's good work right there. That's dedication. And I am happy to have finally executed it in-game. It was quite morsel, sorry. but I hope it gave a bit more insight into a lot of Noël's eccentricities and character tics from the previous 3 chapters. I struggle to pick up on them, but if they are there then please point them out for me. He's rather confused most of the time, but to make up for it he does try to hide it through somewhat mean words and sarcasm. I'm also really excited to get started on my other projects. I most likely will not make any more RPGs in the near future, but I've been developing a comic called Death in Spring along with a continuation of Träumerei as a novelization. That's the media folks, a novel. To an extent, it takes place after the true end. As of July 2020, I'd finished writing the first arc, but artwork is still in the works. I can imagine the artwork takes a lot of time. Here's an excerpt of one of the later scenes. At the end of the hall are partygoers, all dressed to the nines in regal attire, intricately embroidered capes fashioned with golden emblems, men with jolty hats, frilly dress shirts and colourful petticoats, women in corsets and dresses large enough to engulf their frames. Hell, he had even seen one attendee wore a powdered wig so high that it may very well scratch the surface of the overarching ceiling and high-hanging chandeliers. In terms of tone, I'd say this chapter was more melancholic and somber than chapters 1 and 3. I wouldn't say it was quite as dark as the witch trials in chapter 2, but the dark humour was certainly toned down here. Please stay tuned at Veynn@tumblr.com for updates of Träumerei and other side projects. Ah, lovely. And now the mother. The, what you'd call the lifeless mother, I'm sorry to say, but those eyes do look as lifeless as Noël's eyes, sorry. Read character bio. A perpetually bored and sarcastic woman. Camille Roseroad tends to be only cemetery in town, much to irritation. Her graves have peep-bromed to vandalism as of late. While she descends from a long line of witches, her ability in conducting spells is rather limited, though this is chalked up due to a lack of space and time to practice. As she was deceased long before our version of Noël reunited with her, this version of Camille is but a hollow shell of what she had once been. Due to Mishra's inability to let her go, he tried to bring her back. His attempt was certainly more successful than Noël's had been, but still, the dead can never truly come back. Wyvern! Wyvern's character sheet for those who have forgotten about Wyvern. Very immortality is one of their dislikes. They like pumpkins though. Bring you a pumpkin pie, so hopefully not bring death upon me. As the sole Grim Reaper in the game, Wyvern is given the task of tending to those on the brink of death. Their appearances vary depending on who they are interacting with. The presence of a moonlight circus is not a necessary component to summon Wyvern or any other Reaper. Rather, it was an infuriating coincidence, a bait one that did not work out in anyone's favour. Wyvern's not malice at heart and truly does hold regard for all forms of life, but they are confused and bewildered by Noël. Aren't we all? They are frightened by him as they do not understand his motives. Their appearance does vary from person to person, but the way they appear to you, the player, is somewhat familiar. If you can say that, that is. Nope, none of the above. Oh, damn it! That's the default option for that! Just in case you want it in a more quicker tone. Now, the protagonist's main sheet for the final time. My eye itches. I'm not trying to produce fake tears. Despite his inherent vampirism during the previous three games, Noël was actually born as a human with an inclination towards witchcraft. Though, as a result of centuries of strife related to witchcraft and the occult, he tends to avoid practicing magic, while he does carry around Delia's journal, it's more or less a memento he keeps in remembrance. While our Noël's greatest wish is to live a happy normal life with his parents, it is sadly easier said than done. Too much time has passed since he has last truly met them. The person he used to be is by all intents and purposes dead. Noël Rosarou died as a human all the way back in 1943. Countless other versions of him have also died over the centuries. Perhaps it is a tragedy, while he has lost so much. There's always that shred of kindness or a gentle soul that he will latch onto. He has given up on life, but at the same time Noël has not completely let go of hope. Lida's character sheet, which I don't think we ever got in the game. Once upon a time, Lida had lived in a small little town as an apothecary, except did she really? She is a supposed witch who resides within reflective surfaces, dislikes forests, liars, and being alone. Lida is a kind witch who was executed in the 1500s, or rather, she is but a ghostly doppelganger of Ellis Valeries, an apothecary who had since gone into the next step of the afterlife, thanks to Noël. As a result of Noël's refusal to let Elia go, Lida was created as a means to tether the executed apothecary to the physical world. Unfortunately, it did not quite go as he had expected. Lida is real, yes, but she is also imaginary, a mere phantom who flickers in and out of reflective surfaces. Her main dwelling is inside of mirrors, but it is a tedious existence. You can say that. Mischievous, which could also be mischief. Already seen that before. Much is unclear about Mischief, even his age is of debate. It should be said that he has been alive since the 1800s at the very least. He is an anomaly to almost everyone, but if there is one thing to be said, Mischief has a strong interest in conspiracy theories. Not that he has ever believed them. Despite his cheerful appearance, he does not have much in the way of emotions. He goes through life as that is what he is expected of him. There we go. Mischief was a vampire, but it is hazy as to whether he was born one or if he was turned at some point in time. There is an old myth about how one can become a vampire if they kill a vampire. Could he have met Rue at some point then? Sophie's character sheet. One of the other students. Unlike most of the residents in Noël's hometown, Sophie's family had actually moved in quite recently, roughly around the summer of 1942. She doesn't particularly like Veynn or Liam, but it is a small community with barely any residents. Their friendship is more based on practicality. Sophie doesn't believe in the occult or supernatural, but she has a strong dislike towards Noël and is somewhat distrustful of the Rosarou family. It could be said that rumours travel fast in such an isolated town. That's really the last one. That's really the last character that we're ever going to interact with. We can even save it as well. That's kind of nice. Enter doesn't always work. Return to title screen. Yeah. So that, folks, is Chapter 4 of Träumerei. I didn't expect this to go on for this long, but I thought if I got to the previous two endings first and then the other ending, then I'll carry this on regardless of it's been over 40 minutes, or in this case nearly 1 hour 20 minutes. So I love this series, and whenever these novels come out for like what would be chapter 5 and onwards, then I'll definitely look into reading them. Not obviously putting them in a video form because I think that would look a little weird, but I don't know. Maybe like my Pokemon cards, I could actually do like a novel reading series of Träumerei, but I think that would be a very different format altogether. But thank you so much to the developer for making these games. It's been a really enigmatic adventure with our characters here. Like, even if chapter 3 and 4, as you say, provided some context to this really morbid story. It is, in a way, a very morbid story. You can't deny that it is both a horror game and a dark game at its roots, but it is, most of all, a very endearing adventure. And also a very, very unique art style as well. It has given it a very, very unique flavour to it with all of the visuals, and also with some of the limited colour, like comic artwork as well. It's given a really unique perspective on this whole universe that's going on within this game. But I know there's been a very short Let's Play series, being only 2 parts, but this is the shortest of the chapters. I think either chapter 1 or chapter 2 was the longest, then it's chapter 3, then it's chapter 4. But chapter 0 was the only one which we could have items in, and the endings themselves were more of an ambiguity than anything else. But I love this series as it was. The demo, chapter 0, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4. Even if chapter 0 is not canon, it would provide some answers for the entirety of chapter 1 to chapter 4 if chapter 0 was canon, like meeting Annabelle for the first time and all that. But I love this series. It's been really unique, and I feel like more people should look out for this game. But thank you all so much for watching, folks, and see you all in the next video. Have a wonderful day and take care of yourselves.